Welcome to Georgia, and we are so happy that you are here with us tonight on Thursday, September the 9th, I believe, 2021. Now, when I say we, for those of you that are new, we see some new names over there. My sister and I do this together. So she is over on the laptop, ready to talk to you, answer any questions that you might have. If you are watching this on the rebroadcast, we would love for you to take just a moment and to watch the video, make some comments so that we know what you like, so that we'll always keep putting these videos out, and maybe if you have a suggestion, we'll be happy to look at that too. We just appreciate so much you spending your time with us tonight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take just a moment, and I'm going to put my chats up so that I can see what's going on over there so my sister doesn't have all the fun. And hey, Denise from Ontario, Canada. Oh my goodness, what is the weather up in Ontario? Now, we've never been to Ontario, Canada. I've been to Vancouver, but not Ontario, Canada. So what is the weather like? We're having about 95 degrees today. We live in the sunny southwest of southern New Mexico. So it's hot and dry down here. Let's see. Hey, Gloria. So glad you could join us. My goodness, glad to have you on board. We are so excited about what we're going to do tonight. We are creating a card and also a card holder. And we, now what season do I like? Do I always say that I like? Well, fall. Right? So of course it's going to be fall, and we're going to head down to the crafting table in just a moment and show you the stamp set that we're going to use. But first I have to tell you such a funny story. So I got up this morning and I'm all excited, and I did something on creativemomentsbyg.com on Facebook, right? On our Creative Moments by G business page. So let me show you. You look at this picture and you tell me, what's wrong with this picture? I put this on our Facebook page. Okay, guys, what's wrong with this picture? It's a darling picture, but there's something a little bit off. And I'm so surprised because nobody said anything. Everybody was so nice on Facebook. They didn't say what was wrong with the picture. Can you see something besides that darling little baby? Oh my goodness, 70 degrees, 70 degrees. Okay, can you see something wrong with this picture? I'm gonna wait till somebody tells me what's wrong with this picture. Okay, well, I will just wait. It's not Friday. Hey, Laura, can you believe that? Do you ever do that? Do you ever think it's a day that it's not? I was just absolutely sure it was Friday, that I couldn't believe it when it was brought to my attention by someone else. I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so now I have the beautiful picture that I'm going to post tomorrow on our Facebook page. And it'll be right? It'll be Friday tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Well, we are so excited to make these cards with you tonight. So let's go ahead and head down to the crafting table and get started. Here we go. Let me get rid of little baby boo there. Okay. Now let me show you the stamp sets that we're going to be working with. Look at these stamp sets. We are going to use the leaves from Gorgeous Leaves, and they truly are gorgeous. We are going to use Much Gratitude right here to go across the card in Heartfelt Wishes. And then we're also going to use a big thanks on our card holder. And you know what? Isn't this the time of year where you give thanks and you show your gratitude? You have that attitude of gratitude? Yes, it is. So how wonderful to be able to give a card holder with just a couple cards to surprise someone that you really like. Or maybe you have a team and you need to make some special things for them. Well, let me show you. Here's the card we're going to be making. What do you think about that? So pretty. Let's get started. the first thing you need to do is get your base card out, and I want you to remember all our measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com. That is our website. We have our blog. All you have to do is click on the blog, and if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, while you're there on the front page, go ahead and click that button and subscribe. We send out newsletters once a month, so we don't inundate you with newsletters, but we typically have a tutorial on there where you can create a brand new card that you've not seen before. So, I love this rich razzleberry. I mean, I love, love, love it. And then, of course, mixed with the pumpkin, right? So we're going to go ahead and we are going to lay down our pumpkin pie cardstock on the front of this card. And we want to get our card made first. And then I'm going to show you how we put together our card holder. And it is so easy. You are going to love this if you haven't seen this before. Now, the next thing we need to do is we want to go ahead and lay our border right here. Now, what I've done is I have worked with some DSP that, oh my gosh, we just absolutely love. Have you seen this DSP? So beautiful. It has that gold overlay on it, and it's called Blackberry Beauty. And then we're also using Expressions in ink. So here we have just a piece, so you don't use much of it, but we're going to go ahead and lay this down right here because this is just going to create a background for us. So let's just get that laid down, and we'll just kind of center it, and notice how it just goes from the first mat. So we didn't take it back out here to the actual base card. We just kept it right here on this first mat. And we're going to go ahead and lay this right down in the center. Put it right there. And we have some beautiful gold on either side. Now look at that. Isn't that taking shape? That is so very pretty. Now the next thing we want to do is I went ahead and I stamped that much gratitude, and I cut out a strip just to put this on top of it. Now we want to go ahead for the presentation to put it on dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and just put this, the sentiment right here up on dimensionals. And we only need about 3. We don't have to go overkill on this. And take the backing off. And now we're just going to lay this right in the center. Okay. Okay. And look at that. Don't you just think that font is beautiful? Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. Now on the card, we want to go ahead and put this up on dimensionals too, because our leaves that we cut out, we need to have some place to put them behind this sentiment. So go ahead and grab you 3 more dimensionals, and let's get that laid out, and then we're going to go ahead and place our leaves behind it. So let's get that right in the center. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you have some height there. I think that height just makes it so nice. Now let's look at these leaves that we already punched out. We used cinnamon cider, rich razzleberry. We of course used pumpkin pie, and we used Cajun craze. And look what we did to the edge of the Cajun craze. We went ahead and used our dauber and just went around it, because you know how the dies leave a white border? Well, I don't like to see that. That's just my personal preference. And so I went ahead with my dauber and I just went around the edges. And on this one, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and bring in cinnamon cider or maybe a brown and espresso, and you could go around the edges just a little bit. So I think we'll go ahead and just bring in the card though. And one of the things that we need to do is cut these stems off because they're a little bit too long. So we're just going to cut that off because it needs to slip under here. And you know, it's a very fast card, but oh my goodness, so pretty. And let's just get that cut off, and this one's obviously way too long. Now, I say we're going to take this one, and we're simply going to put it right here. Now, the best way for me to lay these down, I mean, you can use a runner, a tape runner if you want to, but I like to go ahead and use this Nouveau glue pen. So I just give it a shake, and that way it goes exactly where I want it. And because this is a wonderful mat, it doesn't matter that you get some glue on it, because when it dries, you can just roll it around and it will lift off so easily. So I'm just going to slip it behind this sentiment and just glue it down. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking the cinnamon cider leaf, and I think I'll put it about right there. And I really want this lifted up, so I'm just going to put my glue down at the very bottom and get that glued right there so that it lifts up and kind of gives it that 3D appearance. And then I'll bring in one of these cute little leaves. Now, you know, you can bend these up a little bit, bend them down, rough them up just a little bit so it looks a little more realistic. And we'll just set that right there. So I only need the bottom of it. And we will just slip that in. Okay. Now we need a little bit down here, right? So we still have a couple leaves. This big, beautiful, rich raspberry. I'm going to put some glue on the back of it. Slide it in about right. Let's see, I think I'll put it about right there. And then we will take this one. Now, I love the way the stamp shows you all the veins. You could always go in and color it if you wanted, but you don't need to. Put just a little bit of glue down there, bend it just a little bit, and put it right, slip it right under there. Okay. And look at the front of that card. It's so nice and so easy because we lifted this up on dimensionals. That's why I like this so much. And of course, I love the rich raspberry with the pumpkin pie. Got it in the paper share. Oh yes, it is so pretty. Now we need to do the inside, of course. And we are going to, before we lay down our paper on the inside, we're going to stamp. And I'm just going to get the cinnamon cider and bring in this beautiful leaf and just kind of stamp it right here. And there we have it. And now we can just lay it down on the inside of the card. Of course, you could always put a sentiment on the inside if you wanted to. But we are not going to. We just have our leaf in there. Wiggle it around. This glue allows you an opportunity to make some movement if you need to, but not for long, right? And so now we have this beautiful fall card. Really makes a terrific presentation. So nice. And I'm just going to set this right here in the corner. And now let me show you the beautiful card holder we're going to make. Can you imagine if you gave this to some special friend or family member and they open it up and they have some cards inside here? Look, so easy to make, but oh my goodness. Let me show you how you make that. You're going to need your trimmer, and you're going to take just a regular size cardstock, and we're going to cut it 8.5, which it's already cut there, to 9.5. So we need to open up our arm, right? I love that about this. Go ahead and put it to 9.5 and make your cut. And now we need to go ahead and score on the long side because we need a score right down the middle. So make sure you move this this cutter blade right here out of the way. And we are going to score at 4 3/4 on the long side of the paper. So 4 3/4. And just score down. And now, so that we can cut our angles, we are simply turning it on the short side, and we are going to score at 2 1/2. And then we're going to cut our angles. So, can you see this? Let's see. Yes, you can see this. We have a long score here. This is for the fold. And this is the part that we're going to fold up to hold the cards. Now, how do we get those angles? Well, the way you get those angles is you cut from this point to this point. So we're going to just put it in our trimmer, and we're going to line this up in the canal. I'm going to shut that arm first. Okay. We are going to put this one right in the canal, line it up with this point. Let's see, can you see that? Let's see. Line it up with this point in the canal, and then we're going to cut it. So we have this to this point, hold it very tightly, and go ahead and cut it. And here we have our first angle. Hey, Jane from Phoenix, so glad you could join us. Thank you. Now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the same thing. Put the point here and the point here, both of them in the canals, and just line it up right where you need it and trim it. Oh my goodness. So look at this. Now we simply fold it up, and you can crease it with your bone folder and crease it like this. And there you have your card holder. And now all you have to do is decorate it. But we are going to put some ribbon on this one. So let's look at how we do this. The first thing we're going to do is bring in that beautiful DSP, and we're just going to lay it down right on the front. That is so beautiful. Oops. Give a little bit. Ooh, I got some on the front. Just wipe that off. Just lay that down. Okay. Press it down. I mean, this rich razzleberry just beautifully goes with this. This is exactly the paper you should use. And next, we're going to have this go right in the center, but what we need to do is decorate it first. And so this is how we want to do it. We're just going to put a little bit of removable tape right there, just so I can hold it in place on the graph paper. Line it up where it's straight. And then we're bringing in a mask, because what we want is we want to stamp some leaves here at the top and at the bottom, and we want an empty space right here. So once again, just a little bit of that removable tape, and then just eyeball it and center it, lining it up straight. Okay. There we go. And so, don't you move on me. Make sure it's straight. Okay. And there we have it. So this is going to mask off that area. And now we're going to bring in our leaves, and we have this one, and we're going to use pumpkin pie. We're going to go ahead and open them. We're going to use cinnamon cider. And I'm going to very quickly get the cleaner to clean our stamps with. Of course, it's right here. I already had it where I needed it. And I'll put it right there. We're going to have cinnamon cider, rich razzleberry, and pumpkin pie. So first we'll go with our pumpkin pie. We're just going to make sure that you stay on this mask right here, because you don't want it to come out. Okay, right there. And now we're going to bring in this little guy. He's also in the stamp set. We're going to do cinnamon cider. And it moved a little bit on me. It's okay, I'm going to hold it. Yeah. And you know what? So I don't have to hold it, I think I'll just put a little bit of removable tape there. That way we know it's going to stay right where we want it. Okay, so we'll do our little stamp straight down. Okay, and there is going to be a spot right there. That's okay, not to worry. I'm going to clean that stamp off, and now we're going to go with rich raspberry. And just do it on the side. Okay. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And now I'm going to just clean that off. Go back with the rich raspberry, and we'll put it right down here on the bottom. Making sure to stay on that mat. Okay. Then we need our pumpkin pie. Let's see. Let's get that. Let me get this cleaned off really well. Okay. Pumpkin pie. Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. Another pumpkin pie on the other side. And now we are just simply going to peel off this mask, and we have an area that is left right here so that we can put this big thank you. Look how big that thanks is. That is huge, and we're going to use rich raspberry. And you could put anything in there. You could put happy birthday, anything you want. Let's go ahead and get that lined up. Just going to hold it for good contact so we get a good color. And look at that. So pretty. Now, on our card holder, we have this right here, but what we need to do is take our edging that we want to do, because we want this to mimic the card, right? So we need to go ahead and just tip it off right there. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue right there, and I'm going to use a tape runner. Maybe not. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to use a tape runner just to put it along the top. And then I'm just simply going to flip it over and line it up right where I want it. Right there. Okay.
Where'd you get the removable tape?
The removable tape is actually I got that at Hobby Lobby. Yep, Hobby Lobby. You can't do without your removable tape, right? And we're just going to cut that off. So now we have that beautiful gold border. We're going to do the same thing to the bottom. Just put us some tape right there. And line up this once again, the same amount. Okay. And there we have it, and just snip it off. And what you can do when you're cutting this off, if you kind of slant your scissors, it kind of goes behind it, so you don't have to worry about there being an edge on it. And so now we have this area, but we still need to put our beautiful ribbon. Now, our ribbon hadn't come in yet from Stampin' Up! That we wanted, so we went ahead and found this beautiful ribbon. We love it. And what you need to do is you need to decide exactly where it's going to go. So we decided, we picked the center of our card already. And because this ribbon is so thin, you can't really use glue on it because it just comes right through the ribbon. And so we are using the runner. So we need to decide if this is basically in the center, and it really is. We want it to go right through the center of thanks. And so, hey Mary, thank you so much for coming tonight. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit right here, just a little bit, so that we can get it stuck. Bring it over, and then pick this up. And go ahead and use our ruler to make sure that we get it straight. And just run your tape right along that. And now, when you put it down, you know that it's going to be straight. Right there. Look at that. Now, you also have to do it on the back, right? So we are simply going to get it, turn it over, put our tape. We're going to use our ruler because we want to make sure and get it straight. There we have it, same distance. And now just run it right against the ruler. And you can see it, so you can see exactly where it needs to go. And now you have a straight line. You don't have to worry about it. Look at that. Now we are ready to go ahead and put this right on the top. We're just going to get some glue. And get this glued down, making sure to go ahead and line it up just where we wanted to, right in the center. And there we have our card holder. Not difficult at all. A very simple one, yet oh my goodness. Let me show you the cards that it holds. So let's say we have cards on this side and on this side. You simply fold it over. You tie a knot and then tie a bow. I absolutely love this for a gift. And then you can always hold your bow right in the center and adjust your ribbon, right? And look at that. Now you can cut this, just snip it off exactly how you want it. Let me see if I can get some sharp snips, because you want to make sure and go ahead and just snip it. Let's see if that works. Yep. And snip it here. And there we have it. What do you think about this card holder? Now I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to bring out the cards. Here we have our card holder, and we have our cards, the card that we created, and just another version. I just want to show you something else you might consider with these leaves. You can punch these leaves out, and then you can just tie them together using some string, and that is equally as pretty, isn't it? I just wanted to show you something else you might want to do with those leaves. But for tonight, here is our card set, and what do you think? Oh my goodness. Let's see.
September 16th.
Okay, I just want to thank everyone for showing up tonight and stopping by and letting us show you these cards and the card holder. We really like these, and we think they're so pretty, and you can use them with any stamp set. You know, if you got a little inspiration, we'd love a thumbs up. Now, what I'm going to do with this weekend is I'm going to go ahead, this is a YouTube live. I'm going to go ahead and condense this down to a shorter video so that it won't take so long for you to get through it. So you can always stop by on Sunday. We put it up at 1 o'clock, and that way you can see it again, but a shorter version. So we'd love that thumbs up. We also want to remind you that we have bingo next Thursday. Typically, we have bingo on the third Thursday, but Marty and I won't be here that night. So we aren't going to have it then. So the 16th, bingo, 6 o'clock. If you want to play bingo and win some prizes, make sure you go to creativemomentsbyg.com and register. We'd love to have you. Guys, we just appreciate you so, so much for sharing your time with us tonight on a Thursday night. We want you to go out and have a fantastic Friday, the real Friday, right? Make sure that you're kind to yourself and others. Be creative in your crafting, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.